Now I want to let's get into, the serious topic of the day. What is the hardest lesson or the best lesson that you ever learned from a relationship? And I'll come out of the gates. This is the truest lesson I've ever learned. So my longest relationship to date was a little over 2 years. And I was pursuing like a very specific set of qualities. Like I had not an actual written checklist, but I had a mental checklist of exactly what I wanted in a girl. I hadn't thought about it in the way of a checklist, but you know what I'm talking about. Like I had boxes I was trying to check about, the way they looked, the way they acted, their character, their lifestyle, their friend group, their good goals, things like that. That I was like, oh, this is exactly what I want. And, lucky or unlucky, I actually found a girl who embodied all of these things when I was like 20, 21 years old. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember, excuse me. I remember looking back, I didn't even really feel that strongly towards her, but I knew that I quote unquote should feel strongly. So I just told myself this is right. And I pursued it, as hard as I could. And, fast forward.
She looked good on paper. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like, I didn't actually have like a written out checklist, but all these boxes in my head that I thought somebody should check for a partner. This person checked them. I was like, this is it. Like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. Fast forward 2 years, I'll skip all the drama. I was like, damn, like we are entirely incompatible. Could not be more different. Could not be more wrong for each other. And not for lack of trying. Like I still have a lot of respect for her. She tried very hard to make our relationship work. I tried very hard to make our relationship work. And I just remember at the end of it feeling like really defeated, lost, and sad. And I thought it was because, the relationship ended. I'm heartbroken. Then as time went on, I realized that, yes, I was sad because, of course, when you're that close with somebody, it's an adjustment period, like not talking to them anymore, because we didn't really maintain a friendship or anything. But I was more sad and defeated because I had this ideal of what I thought I wanted, and having to face the realization that not only was it not what I wanted, but I had no idea what I wanted, no idea what was best for me, no idea who I wanted to be as an individual in a relationship, no idea what I wanted in a partner. And that was really hard to face. And it's taken me years to, discover and find out what actually do I value in a partner? Who am I in a relationship? What do I want to bring to the table? What do I think is, the best, like the best of both worlds, where you're maintaining a sense of independence, but also, collaborating with another person to build something together, and just all these things that, I thought I had figured out youthfully, naively, realized I didn't. And then, it took me years. I'm still figuring it out. I think that was a really hard lesson to learn, because I remember I was really down and really discouraged for a long time. And it took me a long time to even realize why. So I think that was definitely my hardest lesson. What's that Thanos line? The hardest choices require the strongest wills. Had to break it off.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're young. I think we're all going to go through that. Like, well, first off, I'm a Capricorn. So, like, they say that not to, like, play that card, but they say that Capricorns find their, like, person, like, later in life.
Okay.
So, like, that's already been instilled in my brain that,
nice.
Like, it's, like, not going to happen this early on.
Is it later in their life? That way you're pursuing older men?
Yes, exactly. No, that's daddy issues. But apart from that, like, I also think that growing up, I'm a video production major, so I'm like was very into like media.
Ooh, so when I edit this together, you can tell me how shitty it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
100%. And I think like a lot of content that we watched that had like strong female roles, they always dated like a bunch of different kinds of people. There was like the person with like the older person, the artsy person, the person with the kid, the boss, like, all the like
the archetypes.
And I was always like, damn, I have to like experience like all of them to know like what I really like and what I really don't like. And I think I've, been doing that. It's hard because you get like attached to a person and you want to keep them with you for forever. But I think like we're all just, going through experiences and phases, and like that's what happens. That's how you like live your life. I think the hardest lesson has been that like you can't take someone with you forever, because you can't be with everyone at once, and like you're not meant to be with everybody. You're just meant to like learn from it and experience those things. And I've appreciated like all of my experiences. Again, like I wish I could be cool with everyone that I've ever fucked, but it doesn't, it doesn't always work like that. And like, but I wouldn't want to be with any of them.
Yeah.
I can't
So you're saying the realization that sometimes like a relationship or partnership is maybe just for a season, and when it's time to grow apart, like the acceptance of it.
Right. And that doesn't mean that I wouldn't that I would take it back, because I think like experiences, those things were like really important and like probably crucial to who I am as a person, and not just in relationships, like in friendships and just like meeting anyone, like that's how it happens. And not everyone is supposed to like play a huge role in your life for your whole life.
That's true. I have noticed that whether it's in my life or people I'm close to, when I guess people's roles in your life, when maybe somebody is meant to just be an acquaintance or only in your life for a short time, and you try to maybe make that friendship deeper or stronger than it should be, or that relationship, take it to a place where it shouldn't go, a level of seriousness it shouldn't go to, that it can like fuck you up a little bit. And so I think that's a really good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kate.
Yeah, Kate. I think different people in like different capacities are all meant to
teach
you.
If I rep it, you can't check me.
First off, I rep it, you can't check me.
That's your lesson.
Haley Nix said that. I can't take credit, but she said it my senior year of high
wise
school,
woman.
and I was like, you know what? She's right. If I rep it, you can't check me. But I think different people in like different phases of your life all are meant to teach you different things, and whether or not they stay or go in whatever capacity they're in your life. And I think everyone teaches you something. You can learn something from everyone, whether it's them hurting you in a way of you being like, oh, I see a quality in you I now no longer want. So if someone has that quality, it's going to be a red flag. Or like they can teach you something about yourself. It's like, oh, I reacted in a way to that situation that is very unhealthy and very not only deprecating to others, but self-deprecating. And now I really need to reevaluate that and look at myself. Basically, I think one thing I learned is I, on multiple occasions, have just been bored. And so someone's pursued, like throughout my life, like high school, college, have pursued a relationship with me. And I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. And then in my head, I'm like, I'm going to force this for it to work because I was bored and now this is fun. And then I'm like, oh, we're not compatible at all. And I don't even really like you. And then like, I'm the bad guy. So like, I had to realize that like, throughout my life, and like occasionally, like sometimes I am the problem, and that's okay.
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama? Keisha and I say that all the time. But sometimes I'm just like, maybe like if there's a consistent pattern of behavior, and I'm like, oh, why does this keep happening to me? Well, girl, look in the mirror. What do you mean?
Oftentimes it's easier to see like something that you don't like in someone else and then be like, oh shit, the reason I'm so bothered by that trait is because I have that trait.
It. Yeah. I'm so bothered. I'm like, oh, I hate when that person does this or that person acts this way or says that thing. Like, I don't know why it gets under my skin so much. And it's like, oh, because I do that and I won't accept that I'm that way and I do that because I think it's wrong, but I still do it. So I need to now reevaluate myself and the way I behave.
Wow. That's a really strong realization. I think self-awareness is one of the hardest traits that I still have to work on every day. I don't claim to be good at it, but realizing...
No way. You're kidding.
I'm going to choose not to be horrifically insulted. I'm going to make a conscious effort. But I think, like, if a situation is not playing out in your favor, it's very easy to... Even if you tell the story to a friend and they try to give you honest feedback, you're going to paint it in a way that maybe makes you look better or makes you feel better about the situation. And that's a really good point, Jess. Like realizing that sometimes, oh man, my actions were the sole cause of this situation not going well. That is a really hard lesson to learn.
Right. And I also think like in some situations, especially in relationships, like people can hurt you. And like that is valid that you were hurt and that you were upset. But I think the way you react and the way that you move forward says a lot about you. So if I react in a bad way and I move forward in a deprecating way to myself in the relationship, like at that point, like if we've reached the point of they hurt you and they were at fault and like we've had that discussion and now we're reaching a point where like the behavior moving forward like is on your own accord. So you need to act better or you need to remove yourself from the situation. Like those are your two options. So you either can get over it and like have forgiveness in your heart and like kind of move forward with that person in that situation, or you need to get out of it, because if you can't do this, then if you try to move forward and you don't fully like digest and like get over and like process the situation, you're just going to hurt yourself and others within that situation. So I think it's you either need to leave it or you need to like process it and understand it and internalize it and move forward in a healthy way. And those are your only two options, because the other option will just take up everyone's time and energy in a bad way.
I think I see what you're saying.
And I've done both. I've done all 3 of them.
I've learned over time that like I need closure just means like, oh shit, I didn't realize that the last time I fucked you would be the last time that I got to fuck you.
Damn.
You
that's
know,
heavy.
like sometimes you just need to like you don't need closure. Like you know what's up and you know what happened.
And sometimes that hurts, but silence is the best answer. Sometimes.
Right. Whether you're wrong or they're wrong, like something went wrong and all you can do is like, you know, move on and get over the hump.
And one day I will learn
Literally
to shut my
the
mouth.
hump.
I
Get over the hump.